Stop me if I skip a playable card. Alright, this 2-mana artifact, not playable, right? 2 counters oil. Whenever 2 or more creatures attack, put an oil. I'm assuming that card's just bad. Charitable Raphael Levy. 2-mana enchantment. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, so Thalia ability. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, you put a counter on it, then you 3 or more. You sack it. If you do draw a card, then you may search a Plains card. Seems bad. Maybe if it didn't sack, maybe just triggered every... It'd probably still be bad. I feel like that's what they should have done now. You don't have to stack it. You just get the trigger. What, it printed Essence Reliquary? That card's good with Stasis. No? Stasis Modern Legal? Alright, sorry. Boomer joke. Expel the Worthy. They could have made that card instant, no? 2-mana sorcery, exile target creature with mana value 3 or less. They really don't want to get white good removal spell ever. Or would that card be too good if it was instant? Anyways. Alright, White Flare. You may sack a non-token white creature rather than pay this spell's mana cost until end of turn. Your life total can change, and permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible. Hexproof. Who does that effect does anything against? No one, right? That card's just... I mean, it's good against, like, Escape Shift. It's a free Surge of Salvation. So it's gonna be good if, like, Hammer Time is a deck? Like, can you main deck that card? It's a sideboard card at best, right? Good sideboard card defense against combo. Against Wage combo, though, it doesn't really defend against Living End. It doesn't defend against Yogg. Really. You could main deck it in Hammer. You don't even always have a white creature to sack. You don't have that many white creatures. Spike was excited to play it in the Cage deck. I'm going to give it a 4 for now. As in, medium sideboard cards. Alright, Guide of Souls. Combo is New Olamog. Yeah, feel free to share if you have deck lists. You think this is better than an Archon? It doesn't do anything the turn it comes into play, right? Why is that a combo with creativity? I don't get it. Hey, Ted. Anyways. Guide, very good, obviously. 1 white, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and get 1 energy. Whenever you attack, you may pay free. When you do, put 2+1/+1 counters, and a flying counter on target attacking creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other type. So it enables some combos. It's like a reasonable plan B in grindy games. That's 2 toughness, which is obviously extremely valuable. We've seen that, do know we're going in order. Good was the new Alarin. Doesn't go in any existing decks. You don't get energy when you gain life, just when a creature comes into play. Might go in Amalia if you build her with the new Alarin. Oh, Amalia in Modern. Okay. Good pickup for humans. Is it a good aggressive creature? Seems bad, seems way too slow. I mean, isn't it a worst human of the parish? You need free creatures, you need to play 3 more creatures and have this thing live. Unless you draw 2. Alright. How do we rate a card that's basically only going to be good if the Oloran deck is good? Should we give it a 6? Stoneblade? It's so many free creatures? I don't know, you can just... It's a 1-drop that you can just ignore for like 2 turns. Doesn't disrupt people. The white... Dude, can people stop talking about a deck that doesn't even exist because Spike played it like once on his stream? Is that what we're doing, or am I missing something? It's like the 7th people who mentioned the Cage deck. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. It might make one of Spike's tier 7 brews a bit better. Let's give it a 9 out of 10. 1/2 that gains you life and energy is not bad, but it doesn't. It needs to live, and you need to put more creatures into play. It's actually like kind of a... Anyways, let's move on. Or else I'm gonna be here a long time. Hey, Cantus. Does Jolted Awake do anything cool? Choose up to 1 target artifact or creature card in your graveyard. You get 2 energy. Then you may pay an amount of energy equal to that card's mana value. If you do, return it from a graveyard to the battlefield. And as cycling. Unearth is what? Creature free? So it's like a worth unearth, but can be better and can bring back artifacts. So like you can get back a bubble and stock 2 energies. No cycling, chatting. So you probably need to play bubble for that card to be good, and you need to have like some really good use for it. And it sucks against graveyard hate, obviously. This recurs Lotus Bloom. I'm gonna just put it on my list. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like rate it. I'm gonna type bubble plus question mark. Tamishi out of 10. Bubble plus question mark. Tamishi out of 10. Alright, I like it. Adam would be proud. What about the Metastatic Evangel? Free 1 for 2. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate. Is there some infinite combos with that? As energy proliferates, can you proliferate your energy? Choose any number of permanents and replace. You can proliferate energy. Norin. Green-white Heliod. Also, like, if you're playing, like, ballistas and stuff, you can just get value and pump up your creatures. Hey, Claudio. I gave you a little shout-out in my latest YouTube video. At some point, I mentioned Patreon, and I put a little tag team logo. This plus Neolurin plus self-bouncing creature is infinite enter the battlefield. Is there one? What's it called? The Lion? Oh, you already saw? That's cool. Thanks for watching. Alright, I'm gonna have to read Asarak because I know that's the card people mention a lot for the Lurin combo. When it enters the battlefield, if you haven't completed Tomb, return it to its owner's hand and venture into the dungeon. But then you venture, so how does that work already? Oh, you just choose a different one. Right. Because there's multiple. You loop the other dungeons, okay. Alright, well we'll try and build I'm sure there's some build already. Metastatic Evangel. I don't know. What's it called? Primal Prayers? Question mark. Agnes generates mana was this. Alright, that was one of the latest card they spoiled. Ocelot Pride, 1/1 for 1. Someone was joking that card must be broken if they gave it 1 toughness. 1/1 first strike lifelink, Ascend. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 1-white cat creature token. Then if you have the city's blessing for each token you control that enters the battlefield this turn, create a token. That's the combo with Guide. So you go turn 1 Guide, turn 2 Pride, trigger, gain life, it needs to live, and then you get a 1/1. I mean, it is a cat and there's a Johnny, so there's some good cats. Almacadle. This card is strong. But it's like a fair deck, right? It's going to be in a fair beat down cat deck, cat tribal. Or could it be good in... The Guide is not a cat, right? Human Cleric. Kahira Companion. That's kind of nice. Cage. Leonin Arbiter. It is true, it is a wonder. I mean, Ragavan has 1 toughness, right? And needs to connect to be good. So it's basically the white Ragavan. I mean, think about it. If Ragavan, I guess they should have given it dash. Alright, fair. A mana and a free card potentially is a bit better than a 1/1. Alright, I'm gonna give it a generous first strike, lifelink, ascend. Generous 4? Generous 4 out of 10? 8, 7? Wait, are people real? Or am I getting trolled? Obviously depends if there's a deck for it. I mean, I think Cat Tribal might be a reasonable, like, you know, fun deck for people who, Anyways, Imperial Heir, Imperial Advisor. I think we talked about that card once. Just worse than the other enablers, right? Just too awkward build around. Probably can skip. Unless... If anyone feels strongly about any cards I'm, like, skipping or not grading, feel free. Ophelia, on the other hand. 2/2 for 2, legendary creature dog. Flash. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target. Other target non-land permanent, so it can be you or them. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to battlefield under its owner's control. So it blinks tokens too, which is nice. Saga tokens. Treasure tokens. If it entered under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Ophelia, and then you can blink or creature, so kind of a comparison to Soul Herder a bit. And it's type dog, obviously. So that card just seems just solid overall, just tons of applications. I don't know. Nepotist card, true. It's who Michael Majors, dog on the picture, just shameless. Can it compete in Modern? I think so, yeah. The only thing I like about Imperial Heir is that it tokens flows an aura, so you don't need to be Buggles to be using it. Yeah. You can, like, cast on turn 2. Does it give me hope to ban Soul Herder? Yeah, maybe. I think the attack trigger will happen for a 2/2 flash for 2. Errand Shepherd. Shepherds. What should you give it? 6? 6 out of 10? In my Guide of Souls. Containment Priest is legal too, right? Well, I guess you don't want to play Containment Priest when you're trying to blink your own creatures. A Rhino. Unplayable. Static Prison, probably unplayable, right? The Charm, 2 mana. Choose one, instant. Damage equal to twice the number of creatures you control to target creature. Destroy target enchantment, exile any number of target's player's graveyard. I mean, it is flexible, a flexible sideboard card. I don't think you ever main deck that. Prison not unplayable. Okay, yeah, next says Prison is Unholy Heat, Modern Horizon free. What should we give it? 4 out of 10 for the Charm? 3. Just potentially mid-sideboard cards. Alright, Static Prison. 1 white. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land, permanent, and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. You get 2 energy. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, sack Static Prison unless you pay 1. Alright, sell me on that card. Sell me on Sorcery Speed Removal that just fades eventually. How is that card any good? Like, you get a Wren, they're probably playing a mid-range deck, you slow it down for 2 turns and then they get it. You get a Ragavan, you traded a mana for a mana, and then they get it back, and then you're behind, and the first 3 turns are free. Yeah, but the problem is if you're playing that kind of card, it probably means your deck is slow. So it probably means the downside is huge. Could you play in combo deck to remove a hate card? Could see something like Hammer being willing to play this. I mean, you don't have room for removal in these decks, really. Alright, Endlike says, just started a log game, gonna elaborate later on Discord. It would only work on aggro decks? Yeah, but it's like inherently flawed, right? If you're spending a spell and a mana and a card slot in your deck to play that card, then you're like slowing down your aggro plan, and then that card gets, I don't know, it's just like, just seems unplayable to me. An Enchantress? I mean, maybe. I mean, if you're all in on energy, then your other cards also need energy, right? Alright, I'm not gonna, I'm not buying. Short answer, works well with sweepers, emo, you slow them down second. Yeah, but that doesn't work. It's like saying like delay works with Teferi, and it's like so intricate, there's so many better cards, like it's just, I mean, prismatic ending is legal, binding is legal, like, I don't know. I'm off it. Alright, that card. White Orchid Phantom. White, creature, Spirit Knight, flying first strike. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-basic land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle. The sets dropping pre-release are next weekend, I think, and then this Wednesday there's the Arena Streamer's event, and then there's also a Magic Online preview event. I don't know when though. So that card could be good, but who wants to play that card main deck? Who wants to play that card in the sideboards? Is it really worth it? You can play it with Iganjo and ramp yourself up. It obviously like hurts the Oops All Spells decks if these decks become popular. Maybe hate card for Blue-White Spirits sideboard. I mean, there's no way Spirits is good in Modern, right? The Merfolks are so much better. The Goblins are so much better. Like, there's so many better tribal decks, right? Again, yeah, I'm in Flagstone. This is great for Martyr. Like, it's one of your bad matchups, and it works in your deck. And it has 2 pips, too, if you want to abuse that. Death and Taxes, yeah. I mean, Death in Taxes could be good if the meta becomes like super degen and old combo decks and oops all spells and Tron decks, Eldrazi decks. But even if you get their temple and stuff, they still get a land, and your 2/2's not going to do much against their giant creatures. Great was Arbiter. Yeah. Alright, what are we giving the White Orchid Phantom? 6 or higher? 6, 6.5, 7. Something like that. 7, 3, 7, 5, 5, 6, 9. Wow. Alright, I'll give it same as Philia. I'll give it a 6. Alright, next. Wrath of the Skies. White X, sorcery, you get X energy, then you pay any amount of energy, destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid. So, kills Urza Saga for 0. You can also just stock the energy, right? You can pay more energy, but only use some. Kills tokens, kills cheap creatures. Pretty good sweeper. Kills Rhino tokens, I guess, if Rhino somehow survived the meta. Scales. Hammer, I mean... It's pretty miserable against Tron. It's not great against Scam. Even against Yogg. I guess it does get Cauldron, that's a big deal actually, right? It's permanence. Yeah, getting Cauldron is a huge deal. So that part's really nice. What does it get? Artifact, creatures, enchantment. My one concern is that card doesn't work great with other energy stuff. Depends which. I mean, you can go, if you're on the draw, you can go turn 1, draw a card, get 2 energy. Turn 2, just kill their... Like if Yogg goes like halfling into Wall of Roots, you get to 2 for 1 then, clear their board on 2, or if they go 1-drop into Cauldron. Also, it lets you like potentially like sweep the board for 2 mana on turn 4 and have counterspell mana up. I don't know. Could be like a good Jeskai control, right? Jeskai energy control. Was the bolt, the cantrip, that can spin Marvel turn 4. Alright, I'm gonna give it, I don't know. We gave Philia 6, God of Soul 6, and the Phantom 6. I mean, I kind of want to, I mean, depends what the, I don't know exactly. I kind of want to give it at least a 6. Because, like, worst case, it could just be a really good sideboard card, too. Let's give it a 6. Just a lot of 6s. Alright, on to blue.